What's going on, people? It's me, TheRealMossi, with another Battlefield 3 quick tip for you. This time I'm going to show you some of the best ways to take out aircrafts. So let's get started. In Battlefield 3, there are several ways to take out aircrafts. 1. You could use your own aircrafts. 2. You can use gadgets and launchers. And 3. You can use the mobile AA. I'll be covering all 3 in this tutorial. Let's start off with using your own aircraft. I'll be using an attack chopper, but you can apply these principles to any aircraft. The trick to winning a head-to-head helicopter dogfight is to get the enemy to pop his flares first. So lock on to his chopper, stay locked on, and force him to pop his flares without firing your missiles. This is very important. Do not fire your missiles. Once he pops his flares, lock onto him again, and this time fire your missiles. His flares won't replenish fast enough to save him. Here's why you don't want to fire the missile when you first lock on. It takes longer for the missiles to reload than it takes to lock on for a second time. If you fire your missiles the first time, you'll have to wait for them to reload even if you've already locked on for the second time. On the other side of things, you want him to fire his missiles at you. Only pop your flares when he fires his missiles. You'll hear a long beep indicating a lock on, and then very rapid beeps indicating that he's fired his missiles. You should wait for these rapid beats before you pop your flares. We want him to waste his missiles and wait for them to reload again. While he's waiting for them to reload, you'll already have taken him out. Also, if you're targeting an aircraft that doesn't know where you are, it's a good idea to get really close before you fire the missiles. This way, even if he pops his flares at the right time, the missiles still have a chance of hitting him since you're really close. Alright, let's move on to launchers and gadgets. You can use 3 launchers to take out aircrafts. The first 2 are the Stinger and the IGLA. They're available on the engineer kit. You need 3,000 experience points in the engineer kit to unlock them. The trick here again is getting the enemy aircraft to pop his flares without firing your first missile. Then locking on for a second time and firing the missile. Another trick is to give the enemy a false sense of security. Just keep locking on to enemy aircrafts without firing your missile. Eventually they'll get complacent and start not to pay attention to the lock-on. That's when you strike. Wait till they get close and fire. They'll be taken by surprise, and if you're close enough to them when you fire, they might not be able to pop their flares before your missile reaches them. These launchers are useful even if you run out of ammo for them. You can still lock on to aircrafts even if you don't have missiles to fire. Just lock on like you normally would and try to get him to pop his flares. Once he does, he'll be vulnerable to missiles from your teammates. Okay, moving on to the third launcher. It's the JAVELIN. It's available on the engineer kit and you need 82,000 experience points in the engineer kit to unlock it. Normally the JAVELIN can only attack land vehicles, but with the help of laser designation, it can go after aircrafts as well. Even if the enemy aircraft is laser designated, it's not a good idea to shoot it with the JAVELIN if it's really far away. The JAVELIN missile is just too slow. If the enemy aircraft is far away, it may not be able to reach it. So use the JAVELIN only if you're close enough to the aircraft. Let's talk about laser designators. There are 3 different kinds. 1. The SOFLAM. It's a gadget in the recon kit and you need 26,000 experience points in the recon kit to unlock it. 2. The laser painter. It's a vehicle upgrade for the attack and scout helicopters. And 3. The CITV station, which is a permanent upgrade in tanks. All 3 of them do pretty much the same thing. They laser designate targets and allow guided missiles to easily acquire these targets. To laser designate a target, you just point the device at the target and wait for a lock-on. Let's use a laser painter on the attack helicopter as an example. Just point the chopper at the enemy vehicle to laser designate it. You have to be pretty close to the target to do this. Once laser designated, the target can be easily acquired by any guided missile even without line of sight. That is, even if it's behind an obstacle and it can't be seen, you can still acquire the target. The best thing about using laser guided missiles on enemy aircrafts is that flares and below radar won't be able to save the aircraft from guided missiles if they've been laser designated. This works best in a chopper if you have a gunner with guided missiles equipped. You can do a lot of damage. Laser designation may take longer or be more difficult if the enemy vehicle has stealth or thermal camo equipped. The designation wears off if the target is not actively followed by the laser designator, or if the target gets out of the range of the designator. Alright, let's move on to the mobile AA. It's basically a giant gun set up in your base that you use to shoot enemy aircrafts. This thing is very effective, especially on enemy choppers and especially when they come into your base and try to spawn kill you. Here's how to use it. Use the left stick to scan quickly and find targets. Once found, spot them to keep track of them. Then use the right stick to move the gun slowly while shooting. You could zoom in and out using L1 or LB on the Xbox 360 if you need to. The trick with this is you have to lead the aircraft, especially if it's far away. Anticipate its movement and shoot slightly ahead of where it is. Also, it's a good idea to shoot slightly above it since there's bullet drop due to gravity. It takes some practice to get used to the mobile AA, but once you get the hang of it, you'll be tearing up those spawn killers with ease. Well, that's it guys. I hope these tips help you keep the skies clear of enemy aircrafts. Thanks for watching. If you enjoyed the video, please hit the like button, leave a comment, and subscribe if you want more. Thanks again. I'm TheRealMossi. Tell your friends about me.